Hey everybody, it's JB again, and starting a new mission here on Terran, the second one, for Fury Cubed, and we got BW-12. Now you may be wondering how I'm able to shoot a bunch of rapid-fire lasers at once like that, and it's because, well, two reasons. A, this is a different saved game that I'm using, but B, I was able to get some additional rapid-fire lasers from the bunkers in the previous mission, as well as some turbo thrusts, so now we can use the afterburners like this. Alright, now I don't know what that thing is right there, and the CD is acting up. There we go. But I used to call it the King when I was little. Not that I had any beef toward Elvis or anything, it's just that it looked like a really weird kind of crown. Whoop. I meant to shoot that Unibot, but that didn't quite work. And here are the tunnels that I was telling you about in the last video. Basically, they're just these one-way hallways you can go down. They're pretty awesome, but, I mean, they're really limited, and they're mainly used to just shoot down enemies individually, and also get weapons, like, somehow I managed to get that, I don't know how, but you can't go backward through them, like, you can't do that, see? But they're still really fun to play through. And you can get turbos and various weaponry and such, and I gotta tell you, they have the funniest names for weapons in this game. You've already seen rapid fire lasers. There's also dead-on missiles like that. There's also something called Bion Fury missiles later on. It's almost as if they just had to get the name Fury in there. And here we go, we're out of the tunnel, and there's a couple of bunkers there that we'll get. This is a relatively short mission, so I'm kind of taking my time with this one. Alright, I like the sound it makes. See, we can't go back through the tunnel because it's all blocked off. There are some tunnels that you can go backwards through, but most of them, and there you go. Most of them, you can only go one way through. And here is a bunker, and we'll shoot it open. We get additional servokinetic lasers. That is the weapon we started with, by the way. And here's some bunkers. We can get some turbos, and destroy more construction sites. Assuming that's what this is, construction site. Let's see, in the last video I told you about the sequel to this game known as Hellbender, but that's not all that came out. There was also, hang on, sorry about that. There was also an expansion pack called F-Zone. It was released by a company known as WizardWorks, and they made a bunch of expansion packs for lots of games. For example, Warcraft, they came out with one called W-Zone. And basically it was all zones, you know, it was really 90s. Basically anything with a zone in it is pretty much going to be a 90s thing. Maybe I shouldn't generalize, but that's kind of been my experience so far. And let's see, we get another turbo. It's always useful, the turbos. And I hope we can get some more rapid fire lasers, because we really need more if we're going to keep up this 4 laser thing. If you run out of ammo, like we got 243 left and now 239, then you'll go back to the typical 2 lasers and fire 1 at a time sort of thing. So we don't want to do that. If we get low, I'm just going to stop using RFLs for now and then just go back to servokinetic lasers just so we won't have to worry about that happening. And I believe this is the last of the... there we go, last of the targets. Not quite, though. We got one more, I believe. Oh yeah, so F-Zone. I was just saying, F-Zone, basically, the game had 3 new planets you could go through, as well as a level editor. And the level editor was pretty awesome, except for the fact that you can only build levels with a purple sky. Now, I never understood the reasoning behind this. I mean, I'm sure there might be a way to change this if you can break into the game files and such, but... And here's the map once it loads up. We can see if there's any bunkers or anything cool around. And it looks like those green objects over there are where the jump zone is, because those are towers. But we're going to go into the mountains and see if there's anything additional that we've missed with bunkers like this one. We had more servokinetic lasers, or SKLs. There's SKLs and there's RFLs and... dead-on missiles, some people call them DOMs or DOMs or things like that. But rapid fire lasers, they're probably my favorite weapon just because you can use them really quickly, you know, hence the name. And also, I don't know, they're just really fun. Especially when they're all blue like that. In Hellbender, by the way, I believe the servokinetic lasers are purple. There we go. Servokinetic lasers are purple, while the rapid-fire lasers are green, so they kind of changed that up a little bit. And we got some, so I'm happy. Rapid-fire lasers, I don't know why I'm singing, but I love to sing. I love to sing while playing Fury3, and that's a weird combination. So I think we'll just go ahead and leave. Well, we got a lot of time, so I'm gonna go around and see if there's any more weapons left. It's always good to have ammo, and shield boosts, of course, but need some ammo right now. I've been trying to take out some of these enemies a little bit more now, just because in the last mission I was really careless about that, and I apologize. I was kind of just blazing through without any regard to all the BW-12s. Uh-oh, the game's freezing up again. There we go. Oh, not again. No. CD for the game is doing something funny. Oh, wait a second. There's a tunnel nearby. Let's go through it. This is a different tunnel, by the way. It's not the one we just went through earlier. And there are multiple tunnels within each level, except for one level toward the end of the game, and you'll see why it doesn't have any tunnels when we get there. But the nice thing about these tunnels is that, well, A, you don't have to go through all of them, but B, oh, friction. I think that's the sound friction makes, you know, that, or at least the scraping of metal against stuff. I meant to mention earlier in the first video when we saw that video clip of our ship flying toward Terran, our ship almost sounds like the TIE fighters from Star Wars. Maybe I'm just the only one who thinks that, though, but you can judge for yourself. And we're in a square area of the tunnel now. One interesting thing about the tunnels is that they're obscured from the normal map. Well, not obscured, but they're treated as a separate file, which is why there are no coordinates for the tunnel. It's listed there in the sect thing. So when you're in a tunnel, you're actually in a different file. You're not in the same file as you are when you're outside, which is really weird. It is rather odd. Oh, and there's another king. But they can use this to get around the fact that not all the tunnels are the same distance between the entrance and exit. In fact, pretty much most of them don't. Oh, but another king. Gotta wonder why they didn't require us to destroy that. So it is interesting. It also works that way in F-Zone too when you build tunnels there in the editor. So let's see, what should I talk about next? There's really not much else to talk about. I could talk about Hellbender. It's an interesting game. I do like it a little bit better than this because the objectives are a little bit more varied. And it actually has an interesting story. Like in this game, you just go from planet to planet, destroy the bions, but in that one, you actually have some friends and some enemies that come along and such and are involved in a pretty interesting story. Not that it's anything brilliant or anything, but it's a lot more than this story, that's for sure. In fact, the commercials said something like, "The gripping sci-fi story will make sure you stay focused." You know, because apparently we can't stay focused in this game because the story isn't all that great. It's just, you know, you go through all the planets and destroy all the bions and such. And with that, we are done with the second mission. So for now, this is JB saying goodbye, and thanks for watching.